Hello. So in this series, we are going to create this surfer that is going to surf on the wave. So probably we are going to divide it into two different parts. And in the first one, we are going to create this wave. And in the second one, we are going to create the surfer. So to be really honest, I have no idea how to create a beautiful looking wave, but hopefully we are going to create something that looks great. So let's start by creating this plane because this is going to be a surface for our wave. Let's scale it. I think we need reasonably huge wave or sea, let's say. So this is kind of not too complicated. We need to subdivide the surface a few times to have more material to work with. So yeah, I'm gonna do now I'm going to select the polygons and subdivide them. And as you can see, this gives us more vertices to work with. So, well, I think we could divide this wave thing, this wave part, into actually creating the sea surface, and then we can model the wave itself on top of the sea. So let's first start by selecting a few of different vertices and try to randomly make them more distorted, like this, for example. This is kind of a sea surface, and let's try maybe to make it more reflective, like this. Yeah, it's already looking like a sea. But what I want to see as well is I think I want to change the background to some kind of middle of the day time, like this. And this is looking nice. And this one, how can we change it to something interesting? I believe something like this. Yeah. Okay, this kind of looks nice. Okay, so yeah, let's again make this C slightly bigger. Yeah, we need to make sure not to exceed the size for the reflection here, which is around 10 meters by 10 meters, which should be completely enough for our C. Yep. So yeah, let's think about the C. I think it's too much distorted, because if we are thinking about the sea as a very huge surface, it would not be so irregular as it is right now. So I think I'm gonna make it more even. Yep. So when we are closer to it, it looks more like a sea surface, like here. Yeah, we can do the spinning, because spinning is always nice. So yep, it looks like a base for our wave. Okay. Okay. So again, let's start from creating the wave now. So it would be like the second part of this first part. Where to start from? I think we can again maybe just duplicate what we already have here. So I just duplicated this one, and I'm going to take it and scale it down, because I think that's a reasonably good base for our work. Yeah, so we have like a smaller surface now to work with. And first off, I'm going to make the general shape of this wave. I think this should do. Yeah, and of course this water needs to kind of hide into the water surface. So I'm gonna do it like that. Yeah, it's kind of connecting okay, I'd say. But of course we need much more detail here, so this is not gonna suffice for sure. And I think I'm going to move this wave to be a slightly more diagonal. Yep. And probably we need to close this gap here, and I think also I would like to close that gap. So let's try to connect these three vertices and fill the hole in between like this. Yep. And the same thing to this hole here. I selected more vertices, but I think it's gonna work. It looks okay to me. So I'm going to just model this wave a bit more like this. I'm going to say again that this is just the foundation of the wave, and of course we are going to get into more detail later. So I think this is resembling the actual wave a bit more, a bit better. I think the wave would look like that. It was approaching the surfer. And while we have this wave, I think we can try to duplicate it in a few places, because the sea is never even. And of course we'll be more focusing on this middle wave, but we can just reduplicate those waves and rescale them a bit and move them around like this. Yep. Yep, like this. So this shows us that this sea is actually very okay. I'm trying to scale it down. I think these waves are in fact too big. If we are going to create the wave in the middle, if those waves around are too big, it's not gonna work. So no, I think that makes more sense. And I'm going to reduplicate this one as well. So how do I know what to do, actually? Because one could ask me. Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to make a form, just trying to make a initial good-looking horizon line of the sea that could be in some kind of game or an artwork. But of course we are going to focus on this wave here. This is important. This one is important. Okay, so now we need to form a bit more developed this wave in the middle. So I want the top of this wave to be more curvy. So what I need to do first is, I think I'm going to just insert an edge loop. I'm going to select this edge, and always inserting the edge loop is like creating the perpendicular set of edges that are going to be just when I'm pointing right now. So if I want to have the line here, I need to select one of these edges, like this one, or this one, and that will give me this perpendicular edge like here, like you can see here. So this gives us the ability to form this curvature of this wave. Okay, I want to also do the same thing here. So I'm inserting the edge loop. Okay, and inserted it like that, which is kind of okay. I expected it to be a slightly different thing, but it's okay. And yeah, I want to have this part slightly more like this. I think actually those vertices are really not good, but let's try to make it work. Yeah, like this, for example. Okay, and so to further develop this curvature, it's a very organic form, organic form. I will try to add the edge loop here, but the algorithm really had no idea what to do. So what we can do instead here is just subdivide the toppest parts of these of this form. Yeah, the edge loop is not working here. Try it again, but it's not helping. So I'll just do this. Subdivide those toppest parts. I don't think it's kind of working. Trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, should be working. Yeah, but this edge loop that I created here, that was really not as I was expecting it, kind of messed up something. And the algorithm has no idea now on how to add more edge loops. Maybe try with this one. Yeah, this one worked. So let's try to reform this wave. Then let's move this right here, yeah, like this. And this is giving me this nicely looking shape here. And actually we have too many vertices here. So let's try to do something about them, because they can't be just here. They need to be used somehow with our wave. So I think I'm just going to use those three guys up. Yeah. And I don't care about this vertex here, because the more irregular the wave is, the better the effect will be. The water is never regular. So it's actually a good exercise, because you can just have fun and it doesn't need to be perfect. One thing that will need to be perfect in the whole artwork will be the surfer, but it's for the next tutorial, so don't need to bother right now. No. I'm just moving the polygons that don't look good, trying to form them again, and model this. Yep, this kind of wave. It's still too regular to me, so let's try to move it in the on a few angles. Just working out with random vertices. just trying to form the shape of a wave that's approaching the surfer and fixing places that just has problems. Yep, this already looks better than the previous one we have here. So this is like good progress. Of course, it's not yet done, but it's slowly getting there. So the next part will be to kind of continue developing this middle wave, and we can actually duplicate it somewhere. So maybe we'll reuse it later on somewhere in the sea, but for now let's work on this one. So this wave is kind of too regular, and what we can do is add more detail to it in a few places. So I'm going to just insert a few edge loops and make this wave a bit more curvy again. Which will kind of add to the realism of it. If we can talk about realism in low poly in general, of course. But yeah, breaking this wave is certainly making it look better. And instead of just doing things like this, what we also want to do is have kind of parts of this wave that drops from the top to the bottom. So I think what I'm gonna try to do is just extrude from the top of this wave, like here. I'm going to extrude parts of it. Yeah. Hopefully I didn't select anything by mistake. Oh, I did. So let me just undo this extrusion. I think that's okay. No, it's already after. Okay, this one is good. So I'm going to select the backside. And maybe let's try again to select the correct faces. So I enabled the add to selection, and I'm going to extrude now. So this is kind of the teeth of the wave, and it should be falling down, forming this curvature again. But to do this, I think I need to rotate this wave a bit, like this, and then certainly I need to add an edge loop to curve it a bit more. So let's insert an edge loop and move it up. And yeah, this is looking good. Well, what could we actually do is kind of form this wave a bit better. It's a bit too thick, in my opinion, in my personal view. So it should be thicker on the top and thinner on the bottom. Like that, let's say. That's very nice nature of this wave. We need to do the same to the remaining two teeth that we have. So let's select correct faces, like this one. Oh, the wrong mesh selected. So this one, and of course that one. And let's extrude it. Let's again move it, scale it, rotate it. Oh, that's not the good axis for rotation, should be that one. Yeah. And move it a bit down. Scale it again. Needs to be smaller. Yeah, maybe not that small, but yeah. And of course we need to add the edge loop here. Oh, not everywhere, just one edge. Like this one, for example. Yeah, and move it up. Well, not scale it, move it. Yep, like this. That's giving us this nice depth of the wave. And from the bottom, it looks pretty nice already. Pretty nice. Yep. And moving on, we have one last teeth to develop. It's this one. So let's select correct polygons and of course extrude them. Move them slightly away. Scale it correctly. And let's add the curvature. Oh, first let's move it down and rotate it. And now let's add the curvature to the to a new teeth. Like this one. And now let's have a play with those vertices. The bottom ones should be closer because they are forming the ending of the wave. That is certainly this is looking very, very good. Let's try to activate the ambient occlusion. Yeah, ambient occlusion certainly didn't help us. There are just too many these black holes here. And let's maybe try to enable reflection. No. So the ambient occlusion intensity, I think we can increase the radius here to 10. Yep. And this is giving us this nice dark part just below the wave itself. So let's disable it for now. And yeah, could be doing a lot more effects. But let's continue forming this wave because it's still not where it's supposed to be. There are still some mistakes that we need to fix. Like for example, this wave is just too soul-like in the shape. So let me try to fix it. There are just too many irregularities in this line. This line should be more even. Let's try to curve this a bit more, like this. Most important thing is that your wave looks like actual wave, and if it doesn't, then you are doing something wrong. So we've always to fix it to make it look like a wave. Pretty much, I don't believe mine looks like one, so still need to work on it until it starts to look like a wave. Again, I'm in occlusion. Yep. So before we continue, there's one more trick we can do to show the depth of this wave. And this trick is to correctly place the light in the scene and enable the lightning, the shadows as well. So let me disable the ambient occlusion. Let me try to decrease the ambient light so that the shadows are more apparent. So you can see here now. Now let's try to have fun and rotate a bit the directional light. Let's try to find the rotation that will make one part of this wave dark while the other one lit. So let's crank up the intensity. Yep. Could try to make this shape slightly faded away like that. This water is also transparent. So yeah, but I don't think this looks kind of good if it's transparent. I would stick with the opaque version. And I really don't like the current lightning settings, so I need to still work to find out the best possible angle. Yeah, I think that the biggest problem right now is the intensity of this light, because it's striking too much of a change onto the surface of this wave. So I think I might increase the ambient light now. So the contrast between the light and the shadow is too high. Yeah, this again started to look better. There are certain angles that definitely look very, very nice, very beautiful when looking at this wave. Let's try to experiment with the background lighting and changing the colors a bit, just to see how it's affecting the overall wave. Maybe we'll find something experimentally, something good. No, I don't like these changes. So let me disable the background lighting. And maybe again the ambient occlusion. It's certainly adding the best part. So this wave is looking good. I know I sound not too convinced, but so it means we still need to work on it. Okay, I think this tooth, this one here, the big one, it's just not looking too much like a wavy one. It's too thick, so let's try to fix it. Make it smaller. Make it more like a arrow shape. You need to be very critical about your work when you work, especially in arts. Yeah. Now it looks better. I think I fixed it. This is still too thick. Oh, this angle actually looks interesting. I didn't think about this one, but it looks pretty interesting. Oh. Okay, so let's mark the surfer for the next step. Let's create a box. Let's make it white, because this is going to be the board. There's the mock of the board. So it should be smaller, much smaller. And the board should be facing down, like that. And the surfer should be over here. So let's add another box. Let's change the color to kind of skin-like. Whatever the correct skin color is. Of course, it's always difficult to find a neutral color for the skin. Skin has so many different shades in it. I'm just mocking up the surfer. Trying to position him somewhere. Yep. This is our surfer. Trying to find a good angle. Oh, this one here is too high. Let me try to add the point light here. Yeah. Because why not? This is creating this interesting effect. And we enable the flare, and the surfer looks now like pile of light, whatever. Light needs to be in front of the surfer because it needs to lead it. Oh, damn it. Yeah, we can think of this light as a sun striking the scene here. And I think that's looking good.